Hello guys, welcome back. Let me see if I can do this without crying. As you know by now, Stanley has passed away. And, that brings us to comic book Lokeans, which I've often been accused of being one of because I've made no secret the way the Norse gods reached out to my family was through the Marvel comic books of, the adventures of Mighty Thor and all this other good stuff. And Thor adopted my brother, and Loki was the one that was interested in me. And we're not literate people. We're not rich people. So comic books my brother could get or steal. And, you know, it was a thing where it was the only way the gods could reach out because we weren't literate. My brother would have to go the whole way into Pittsburgh to try to read about the gods. It was forbidden in our house, and you know how my father was. And so, you know, it was hard to hear. Whether you believe it was Jack Kirby or Stan Lee that made the characters, the truth is, most people are going to say Stan Lee. And it's kind of the end of an era, even though, other artists have taken over for the characters of Loki and Thor and everyone else. There have been a lot of other wonderful artists and writers, we still lost Stan Lee. And that's like a huge thing. It's kind of like losing your dad. It really is. And we're only holding it together because I had a good cry for about 15 minutes. And, I'm thankful for the comic books. I'm thankful the gods had a vehicle to reach out to us, because had there never been any Marvel comic books, our family wouldn't have known. Our family wasn't, super literate, go to the library, spend all the time you can. My mom loved to read, but my dad didn't. My dad thought books were for stupid people. So, if you even wanted to go to the library, my dad thought something was wrong with you unless it was a school library. So, I'm thankful for the comic books, and I'm thankful for Jack Kirby and Stan Lee, and I'm thankful for Marvel Loki, and I love Marvel Loki to death. And I love that character of Marvel Loki because he's sneaky, and he's, Stan Lee talked about giving characters clay feet, as opposed to other comic books where the superheroes were always perfect and virtuous. What would it be like to be Loki and feel unappreciated and feel unloved and have all this power yet feel no one else ever loves or appreciates you? Because that's what drives that Loki. He feels from the very beginning of his first appearance he's not loved. He's like trapped in this tree for all these ages. Finally manages to get free, and he feels unloved. He feels hated. He feels like nobody sees me, nobody appreciates me. So of course he's gonna battle Thor, because if he battles Thor and he wins, he finally gets the recognition and the love and the power he craves. Does he have a definite chip on his shoulder? Yeah, that's one of his major character flaws, but he's supposed to be flawed. He's not supposed to be perfect. And for those of us that work with the actual Loki, we know he's flawed. We know he can be impatient, greedy, moody, a rat bastard for no apparent reason at all. And you could have been in the middle of a conversation with the nice part of Loki, and then all of a sudden he flips and he's grouchy as hell, and you're like, what did I even do? Your crazy switch just flips itself at this point. He's like, go away. And you're like, okay. So, yeah, I miss Stan Lee. I miss Jack Kirby. I miss that, the golden age of comics where they were these wonderful fantasies. And for people to hate Lokeans that read comic books, because at least you can read, and apparently they can't, I think it's the greatest kind of stupidity, because that's how our family found the gods and how the gods found our family. And I've always said, I don't care how you find the gods. I don't care if you find them through a comic book, through a movie, through a video game. You will eventually have to take that step of kind of sort of looking at our lore and knowing what the historical lore is, but then you have to develop your own relationship with the gods anyhow. Some people forget that, not everybody has the ability to access our lore or to do the things that they need to do to work with our gods in the right way. I think it's perfectly acceptable to be a comic book Loki, and I love those comics. I always will. And I have little Loki back here, little chibi Loki. He's back here somewhere. He's back here somewhere. Trust me, he's back here somewhere. And I have Loki, Marvel Loki over here because Loki loves it, and Loki will kill me if he doesn't have it. So we have, as you guys know, we have Marvel swag all over the house, and I don't care. I've had my share of attacks too. I've had a lot of people had to be blocked and banned because Loki wants them to talk to me. Loki speaks for himself. If you actually work with the actual Loki, Loki speaks quite loudly himself. If he didn't like something, he would destroy it all on his own. He would not put up with it. And Loki is the one that actually had me, like when we were starting to renew our relationship, have me get a bunch of Marvel swag because he knows I love that character. And I know that character's not Loki. Though I know Loki being Loki, he can show up as Tom Hiddleston if he wants because he's Loki and he don't care. So, you know, I'm sad Stan's gone. But I hope you know he's with his ancestors. I don't know if I know he had Jewish ancestry, but I don't know if he practiced. I don't know that much about his personal life. But, it was sad to hear that. And we were sad. I had a good cry, but I'm okay now. And I will always support being a comic book Lokean and Lokeans that like to cosplay Loki and everything else. It's fun. It's fun. If you don't have a sense of humor, you're working with the wrong god. So, if you guys like what you see, like, comment, and subscribe. We do have some candles lit for Stan, because I said, I feel like my dad died. He felt like your surrogate father or grandfather, the one that would always know things and say Excelsior and just love you. So, if you guys like what you see, like, comment, and subscribe, and see you later. Bye-bye.